Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optics covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
By Broome, where bird feeding meets innovation. Discover truly squirrel-proof bird feeders, all backed by lifetime care commitment. Broome.com.
And by Hog Island Audubon Camp. For full camp schedule, program details, and to register, visit audubon.org/Hog Island.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our show number 1104. Reporting a little spotlight on the American goldfinch today. Here, we have several of them accessing our beautiful Broome bird feeders out in the Talking Birds garden. And I know that Mike O'Connor has many, many more in his garden. And we'll learn more about the bird today with Mike on Let's Ask Mike Live. Now some news from a warming planet. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, July 2026 was the hottest month ever recorded in the United States. That's right, here in the U.S., July of this year, hottest month ever recorded. And Canada has faced record-breaking heat waves and heat domes, triggering extreme heat warnings across multiple provinces, including Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and the Northwest Territories. And in Europe, multiple heat waves led to wildfire outbreaks at the end of July and into early August in Spain and France and the UK, in Greece and other countries. According to the Copernicus Climate Change Service, Western Europe has had its hottest first 2 months of summer on record. Well, we know the burning of fossil fuels is largely responsible for all this warming. Here's a little good news local story in that regard from north central Illinois. 2 new projects there in Woodford County are now providing pollution-free solar energy to power hundreds of households and businesses. Well, that's a bit of good news by itself, but what makes it kind of extra special is that the projects are located on a reclaimed coal mine. So that land that once produced dirty, toxic coal now hosts a source of clean power. And planners say the 2 projects are the first of many more to come. So way to go, Woodford County, Illinois. Meanwhile, over in Michigan, the governor has signed into law a bill that will protect clean energy technology from interference by homeowners associations. The law defines an energy-saving improvement or modification as including everything from clotheslines and rain barrels to reflective roofing, solar water heaters, electric vehicle supply equipment, and a whole lot more. And the Michigan legislature has declared that any attempt by homeowners associations to prohibit or regulate these technologies is illegal. Way to go, Michigan. All right, back to birds. We're about to listen to an audio postcard from Mark somewhere in Southern California.
Hi, Ray. This is Mark Dayton, the San Diego Bird Guide. And what you're hearing here are violet green swallows making that chittering noise. There is a black-headed grosbeak in the background that's singing too. So I'm standing under a dead tree where there's 4 violet green swallows flying around and just kind of doing battle with each other. I'm at the Pine Creek Trailhead in eastern San Diego County in the mountains, and just thought you and your listeners might want to hear this. I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.
Thank you so much, Mark. Get those violet green swallows, black-headed grosbeak, and what some call the northern gashawk, also known as an airplane. Thank you for that audio postcard, Mark. We love getting them. Send your audio postcard to ray@talkingbirds.com. To make one, just grab a smartphone or some other device like that and record what you're seeing or hearing and send us the file. We do something around here called plurting. That's a mashup. That term is a mashup of the words picking up litter while birding. We like to do it and invite listeners to do it too, especially by becoming official proud plurters. And we'd like to say thank you to new proud plurter, Dawn, from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. She says she thinks it's a great idea, and she also says she found out about our show in Living Bird magazine from Cornell Lab of Ornithology. So thank you, Cornell Lab. And thank you very much, Dawn, for becoming a proud plurter. And that's easy to do. It's that little all-purpose place there. It's the Get Involved tab. So where it is, Get Involved tab at talkingbirds.com. You'll find it easily when you get to that tab. We have a mystery bird contest preview coming along right after this.
The Seabird Institute's Hog Island Audubon Camp, celebrating its 90th anniversary, hosts 5-night immersive educational programs for adults, teens, and families. Through these sessions, taught by the world's leading naturalists, ornithologists, and artists, Hog Island campers deepen their relationships with the birds and the ecosystems around them. For more information, full camp details, and other program offerings, visit audubon.org/Hog Island. That's audubon.org/Hog Island.
It's a pretty distinctive sounding mystery bird, I think. And we're about to give some clues about that as a preview of our contest coming along a little bit later on in the show. And among the prizes this morning is this one, very special from Brome Bird Care. It's a
600 feeder.
Yeah, that's a big guy with that extra large tube holding nearly 2.5 pounds of seed. It's easy to clean as well and chew-proof, and even includes the Brome seed ventilation system. It's a beautiful feeder, one of our prizes today. And the other one is a big bag of our favorite coffee. Shade-grown, bird-friendly, truly delicious birds and beans coffee, grown under the natural forest canopy in Central America to preserve wintering habitat for the birds that we love up here in North America in the spring and summer and fall. Prizes on the Mystery Bird Contest, and that's coming along just a little bit later. So we hope you'll be ready for that when it comes. And meanwhile, we are indeed fortunate to have more Talking Birds ambassadors to thank this morning. They are the folks in our listening audience who step up and help us spread the word about the show, and by extension, about birds and conservation. And a very special thank you to Terry from Menlo Park, California. Thank you, Terry, for becoming a Talking Birds ambassador. And thank you, Ariel Katerina from Cape Coral, Florida. You may have heard her name before because she was our 1,000th Talking Birds ambassador a couple months ago, and we have her listed in our thank you list here for this morning. And she's a wonderful artist, by the way. Keep an eye out on our Talking Birds website because we'll link to her site. Really worth seeing. And thank you again, Ariel. That talkingbirds.com Get Involved tab is where to sign up to become a Talking Birds ambassador. Still to come today, we'll talk with our own Debbie Bleacher about hummingbirds drinking fermented nectar. And up next, a master of mudflats is today's featured feathered friend, presented by the Bigger and Better BWD magazine, with each large format issue packed with beautiful photographs, illustrations, and in-depth articles. Experience birds up close with BWD at bwdmagazine.com.
Does the semi-palmated plover feel less than because its feet aren't completely palmated? Probably not, since that construction, in which the toes are joined with webbing just part way to their tips, allows the bird to walk and run as it probes into mudflats without sinking into the soft ground. Fully palmated feet on birds like ducks make for great swimming, but provide some clumsiness on land. The semi-palmated plover is a small, handsome shorebird, similar in plumage to the larger killdeer, but with a single black chest band instead of the killdeer's double band. Breeding adults have a brown back, a round head with a black patch at the front of the crown, and a narrow white patch just above the stubby, smallish bill, which is black with an orange base. The legs are yellow. On mudflats, semi-palmated plovers eat mostly small invertebrate prey like marine worms, snails, and slugs, along with small mollusks and crustaceans, adding spiders, fly larvae, and beetles when feeding on beaches and in fields. Our bird breeds mostly in Alaska and northern Canada, wintering along the east, west, and Gulf coasts of the U.S. and down into the Caribbean and Central America. During migration, continuing in a southerly direction right about now, the bird can be found almost anywhere in North America. Despite its many survival challenges, from sea level rise and climate change impacting their Arctic breeding habitat, widespread hunting in South America, and oil spills and other forms of pollution, the semi-palmated plover is holding its own and is among the few shorebirds whose populations appear to be stable. Maybe that helps account for its cheerful call. It's today's featured feathered friend, Charadrius semipalmatus, the semi-palmated plover. Or you can say plover. Welcome again to our show, number 1104. Today, your humble host learns to be a hummingbird mixologist, as we're about to discover in the Talking Bird Science Corner with our Debbie Bleacher.
Come up to the lab and see what's on the slab.
Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning, Ray.
So you're going to tell me how to mix drinks for hummingbirds?
Yeah, kind of. You'll have to make them good, though, because they'll consume only one drink per day.
Oh, one per day. One drink per day, as in fermented nectar?
Yeah. Nectar makes up a huge percentage of their diet, 50 to 150% of their body weight every day. And those small amounts add up.
I guess.
Yeah. Biologists at UC Berkeley have discovered that plant nectar can contain trace amounts of ethanol, which is the kind of alcohol that makes us drunk. They also discovered that the nectar in our bird feeders contains more ethanol than plant nectar. Maybe because we leave it in the feeders too long in hot weather. I know I do.
So do hummers prefer a certain alcohol concentration?
In fact, they do. The same Berkeley study showed that Anna's hummingbirds do have a preference, and Anna's are the most common species on the West Coast. So the researchers counted the number of times the hummingbirds visited a feeder filled with sugar water that had been mixed with varying concentrations of ethanol. The hummers visited most often when the concentrations were up to 1%. They made half as many visits when the feeder had concentrations approaching 2%.
So that means they can taste it or monitor their response, or both?
Right.
Well, how does it affect their behavior, or does it?
The researchers think it doesn't. They theorize that the hummers are consuming the equivalent of one drink over the course of an entire day, and they're getting it in tiny amounts, and they're metabolizing it really fast. So it has little to no effect on their behavior. But that said, it is known that caffeine and nicotine do affect the behavior of pollinators, so ethanol might have an influence we just don't know about yet.
Well, does this study have implications for other birds or other animals?
Yes, it does. A former Berkeley grad student named Cynthia Wang Claypool found that the feathers of Anna's hummingbirds contain a chemical called ethyl glucuronide, a metabolic byproduct of ethanol. Humans and other mammals make that same chemical when we metabolize ethanol. It shows up in our hair or our fur. So we know that Anna's hummingbirds prefer a certain concentration of ethanol and that it occurs naturally in their food and that they have mechanisms for metabolizing it that are much like ours. So we may see more studies of hummingbirds that will help us learn about the effects of ethanol on the rest of us.
Where can we learn more about this, Debbie, about this research?
I like the short article on the website SciTech Daily. I'll put the link on our social media. And listeners who don't use social media can do a search on the term bees, birds, alcohol.
These birds' alcohol. Got it. Thanks, Debbie.
You're welcome, Ray.
It's Rowan Debbie Bleacher there in the Talking Birds Science Corner. And let's see, up next, it's our Mystery Bird Contest in just 1 minute.
The flutter of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com.
Doesn't sound like a songbird, but it is our mystery bird is what it is there on our Mystery Bird Contest we do every week here on the show. We play the sound of a bird, we give some clues about it, and then we give away some beautiful prizes to the caller with the correct answer, or the caller who wins by virtue of a drawing if we don't get an exactly correct answer. So that's kind of how that works. So the phone number is the key thing here. I'll give it and then make sure I remember to give it again. It's 781-837-4900. Our mystery bird is a large and robust bird with a white face and black head, neck and upper breast, and a white belly. As I give this description, it occurs to me that I didn't give the description earlier in our preview, but I am giving it now. The wings and back are silver gray with black and white bars that appear to shine when the light reflects on them. During flight, a V-shaped white rump patch and the silver-gray underwing linings are visible. Well, our bird feeds mainly on grass, but will also eat seaweed, aquatic insects, mollusks, and shellfish. Our bird breeds mainly on the Arctic islands of the North Atlantic and occasionally appears here in the Northeast United States, although some sighted birds are believed to be escaped individuals since they're popular with waterfowl collectors. That's another kind of a clue there. So those are the clues, and you heard the sound and the prizes. Again, that beautiful Brome Bird Care Mega 600 feeder with the extra large tube that holds nearly 2.5 pounds of seed, and a big bag of our favorite coffee. It's shade grown, it's bird friendly, it's truly delicious. It's Birds and Beans coffee. And by the way, if we have time, we'll do a bonus question. And the prize there is a feather-friendly bird window collision kit. That's a beautiful thing to have to prevent birds colliding with your windows with difficult results. Those are the prizes and all the rest of it there. And the phone number again is 781-837-4900. That's 781-837-4900. Call us as soon as you can. In the meanwhile, we're going to check in with Mike O'Connor, and that would be with Let's Ask Mike right after this.
Squirrels have one mission in life: eat your birdseed. They hang, they swing, they stretch, climb, and plot their next move. For squirrels, your bird feeder is the ultimate prize. But now, they've finally met their match. Introducing the Squirrel Buster Evolution. When a squirrel climbs onto the feeder, its own weight automatically closes access to the seed, stopping the theft instantly while birds continue to feed comfortably. No batteries, no tricks, no complicated setup. Just smart, proven squirrel-proof technology that works day after day, season after season. That's why the Squirrel Buster Evolution was named Best New Birding Product of 2025 by the Wild Bird Feeding Institute. So let the birds enjoy the feast, and let the squirrels keep trying. Look for the Squirrel Buster Evolution at brome.com or at your local bird shop.
Right now, you're probably asking yourself, should we describe the flight call of the American goldfinch as perchicory or potato chip? For an answer to that and other goldfinch questions, we call on, who else? Mike O'Connor at the famous Birdwatchers General Store, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Good morning, Mike.
Oh, potato chip, that's the way to go.
Is potato chip the one? I didn't mean to just, throw that on you there, but you were ready for it.
No, you say particularly, people look at you funny. You say potato chip, they're interested. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It gets the appetite for the thing going there. Potato chip. Okay, potato chip and not perchicory. Okay, but we mentioned, Mike, that we have some goldfinches, American goldfinches here in our Talking Birds garden, but I think you said you have, dozens in your garden?
Dozens, yeah. I have a lot of coneflowers. I've been really good at planting native stuff lately. And boy, they hammer these coneflowers, echinacea, I guess the gardeners call them. But what I'm talking about today is a lot of people. Goldfinch is so common throughout the lower 48 that they're a regular backyard or common backyard feeder, and they're so popular that manufacturers make feeders just for them. And if you see in the advertisements, there might be a feeder with a dozen or more male goldfinches feeding, and you thought to wonder, is that in the old days were they Photoshop because the males are so much more attractive, or are they doing some kind of AI trick? Yeah. But they don't have to do that, because for a few weeks each year, just about all the goldfinches going to feeders or going anywhere are the males. Like most songbirds, the female sits on the nest and incubates the eggs and broods the chicks, and the males go out and gather food. But most songbirds, the males look through bushes and shrubs and trees, finding insects to feed the female and to feed the babies. Goldfinches are die-hard vegetarians, so they don't go to the bushes. They go to the plants, or in this case, your feeders. So if you're offering seeds, the males are happy to go there and grab the seeds to bring the females. So for a few weeks, you get a super high percentage of the brightly colored males. Yeah. And when you're offering food for goldfinches, the old school, or traditionally, it's Niger/thistle seed. You can put that out in a tube. I find I offer both, and I get a lot more on whole sunflower seeds. Whole sunflower seeds doesn't have any shells, so you don't get the Niger or thistle seed shells on the ground. But there's a downside to that, is that everybody likes whole sunflower seeds, including the larger birds and the squirrels. So you've got to decide which one to use. But so I use both, but I find that the goldfinches really like the whole sunflower better. What you don't want to use is something called finch mix, which we sell a lot of, and no matter what I tell the people, don't buy it. They buy it anyways, because I always say single ingredients, because that's what the birds want. This isn't country buffet. They want one thing, but that's not what people want to do. So I would say for a few weeks, you'll get a lot of males, and then it switches, because pretty soon the babies will be hatching, and they're less colorful, so you get the females back at the feeders, and you'll get the young birds, and then all of a sudden the duller birds will be a little bit more common at the feeder than the males. So there you go, Ray. That's your story on your goldfish.
On your gold, well, hey, a lot of questions answered there. One of the things that people wonder, well, we always think birds have to feed insects to the young because they need that protein, but somehow the goldfinches, they can metabolize the seed to make up for that. That's
absolutely. Thing. But that's the reason everybody thinks why the goldfinches are nesting now. Well, all the birds are done. They're over for the season, because they have their babies in the spring when the insects are more common. Goldfinches hold off when the plants are flowering, and so they're a little bit they're nesting July and into August, while the other birds have shut it down for the year. They're already migrating back, and the goldfinches are just cranking up because they do better with the season. Vegetarian's really the way to go anyway.
That's what I hear. Yeah, well, Mike, thank you for all that great info, especially about potato chip.
Speaking of vegetarian, there is another one. Yep.
That's right, but vegetarian chips. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, talk to you next week.
Mike O'Connor there at the famous Birdwatchers General Store. That's on Cape Cod in Massachusetts. And the mystery bird sounds like this. That's probably enough. We don't want to hear that much of that bird, but we'll go to the phones and see, because we have Jude in Jacksonville, Florida. Good morning, Jude. Hello, Jude. Hi. Well, Jude, good morning.
I think it's a Canada goose.
A Canada goose. That's a top quality guess, but it is not exactly correct. It's close. Does that help?
Oh yeah, okay.
All right, but you could still be the winner by virtue of a drawing. So keep listening.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Jude. In Jacksonville. And meanwhile, we have Kevin right here in Massachusetts in the great town of Scituate. Hello, Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Hi. Kevin, you just heard that guess for, did I already forget what the guess was? Oh, gosh, I can't believe I forgot that already. That tells you something, but it doesn't matter.
I had guessed Canadian goose.
Canadian goose, or Canada goose is what we generally call them, but I hear what you're saying on that. It's another top quality guess. It's very close to the correct answer, but not exactly right. Kevin, try us again.
Okay. Have a good day. Thank you.
Canada goose from Kevin, and whatever the goose was before that, somehow I can't seem to remember. But in any case, we still have a chance for you to get this thing. And a reminder, by the way, about our mystery bird contest in general, and that is that if you listen to our show live, that's how you can be part of the mystery bird contest. It works a lot better that way, as you might imagine. And you can do that wherever you are on planet Earth. Just go to talkingbirds.com. and click on the listen button, and you'll see how to do it. And the show is live, by the way, on Sunday mornings at 9:30. Caroline might have an answer for us, or in fact, she does have an answer. Hi, we'll see if it's the right one. Hi, Caroline.
Common eider.
A common eider. I've got to get a chance to play this trumpet at some point here.
Oh, too bad.
Not exactly a common eider, but that is a heck of a lot of try there. I mean, a heck of a good try is what I was trying to say. All right, well, we're going to flip the cards over, Caroline, and we're going to go ahead and make you the winner on our contest here. And you win that beautiful prizes, and we'll even give you a chance to win something else on our bonus question if you'd like to try it.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is a very different kind of bonus question. Usually it's some kind of a multiple choice. But this is kind of an inside baseball one. You know, when we mentioned talking birds, we emphasize that there's no G in talking. We could also say the same thing in a rhyming phrase like this. In the name Talking Birds, there is no G. But at the end of talking, there's... Can you finish this rhyming phrase? I'll give it to you again. In the name Talking Birds, there is no G. But at the end of talking, there's... Can you finish that phrase, Caroline?
Bird.
Bird. Is that the right answer? There is no... Let's see. At the end of Talking Birds, there's bird. That is not exactly what we meant to say. There is no G, but the end of Talking Birds, there's... an apostrophe. I'm going to give myself a round of applause for that, because I think I got it right anyway.
Oh, no.
Caroline, stay on the line, and our great engineer, Paul Pisa, will take your information, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Caroline. Did we identify the bird? It's the barnacle goose, our mystery bird. Almost forgot that as well. The barnacle goose. That is it for our show this morning. Thanks to our great engineer today, Paul Pisa.
Talking Birds.
See you next week. Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com.
By Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. Their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optics covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
by Brome, where bird feeding meets innovation. Discover truly squirrel-proof bird feeders, all backed by lifetime care commitment. Brome.com.
And by Hog Island Audubon Camp. For full camp schedule, program details, and to register, visit audubon.org/Hog Island.